Here in our final hour together on a Wednesday, we're about to do the text message suite. We've been doing roll call, and we're going to do roll call to 120. For everyone that texted and met the 3 requirements, your name, how are you listening to the Zone, and where, you're registered to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. The ticket booth is open for another 18, 19 minutes, thanks to Dixie Tire Company. At 120, right about, 5 things you need to know. 135, Bubba Bush, BVMMA and Fitness will join me on the D4 Land Services Hotline. So that is our final hour together on a Wednesday. If you wish to text, and you don't have to, some people are like, I don't want to win. We've had people text that just like to have fun and participate, and participation, hey, be a part. 979-693-1150, 979-693-1150. You can light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. Text message as it is. Anthony in BCS is listening on 93.7. Ernesto is listening on Zone 1150 AM in College Station, Texas. Now, Ernesto, I need help with something. It says here, your title name says Ernesto in Louisiana. You texted, said Ernesto listening in College Station, Zone 1150. Have you moved, or you're just in town today? I'm not questioning you. I'm just looking for a little help. Because Louisiana, really. Andrew is listening on the Zone app in Cypress, Texas. Are you old Cypress? Are you hip and new Cypress? Which Cypress, man? Robert is listening in Montgomery, Texas on Zone1150.com. Wade M, College Station, Zone 1150 AM. Tim, East Coast Aggie, listening on the Zone app in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Tim, live your best life, please. We have another Tim. He's not East Coast Ag. Tim in Sugar Land is listening on RadioAggieland.com. If you're paying close attention, which if you're driving, don't pay too close attention. Please drive safe first. You notice that like everyone is listening differently, right? Because we've already had the Zone app, 93.7 FM, 1150 AM, RadioAggieland.com, Zone1150.com, through the website, which you can, right? So that's the first thing that stood out to me. That's why I love roll call. How are all the different people experiencing the Zone? Just excites me. Carlos, class of 93 from good old San Antonio. He's listening in San Antonio, Zone 1150 via the TuneIn Radio app. A million different ways. Now, the next text message, it's not roll call, but Dale and Tabor said, howdy, Lou. What's up, Dale? And this one, it caused a spontaneous out loud burst, quick laughter. But since you called high school football in a state or names spelled with all consonants, how often did parents get upset when they heard their son's name mispronounced? I'll share with you. When I called high school football, the whole name pronunciation thing wasn't that bad because I could talk to the opposing radio crew. Sometimes I could go on the field before the game and talk to opposing coaches. Sometimes. So opposing radio crew, opposing, like, they're beat writers. So I could get names. What was brutal on the high school beat was I called high school baseball, I think it was 3 years. It could have been 4. I used to do PA because this is back when I was with Texas A&M. When I say with, they hired me and I did like PA, and that's when I did softball, baseball, and then men and women's basketball, the music entertainment stuff. And they would host things. And in high school, like during the season's over, making money on the side with the facilities, and I would do PA and stuff. So I did a lot of high school is what I'm trying to say. And it's so bizarre. I don't know about modern times. Maybe the world has changed. But I would contact, like let's just say I'm doing play-by-play high school baseball back then. And I would contact the opposing coach. And I'd go, coach, if it's possible, could I get a roster? And, maybe some name pronunciations. Schools used to protect everything. Like it was government, the weapon codes for the nukes. They would think that I was scouting for their opponent, and anything they tell me, I was going to tell A&M Consolidated was the school I called because that's back. You remember when A&M Consolidated was like in the top 5 in the country? They had that group of kids that went to the Little League World Series like back then, right? So they thought that I was scouting for them. They wouldn't tell me name pronunciations because that might take away a competitive advantage. But all high school sports were like that back then. This is way before. Now you go on the internet, you can find out anything you want. Games are broadcast by internet services. Coaches can scout a million ways. I doubt if it's the same. But that was the way. And it was a nightmare to wade into. Oh man. So when I was doing PA for the different A&M facilities, and you do like 3 games in a day, coaches wouldn't talk to me because I'd go down and go, "Hi, ma'am. Hi, sir. I'm the PA announcer for your upcoming baseball games at Olson or a high school game, softball at the old, oh my gosh, about to get a headache. Remember the old, Aggie softball stadium." And, they wouldn't have like this is going to break their chance to win. I would, when I say mispronounce, I just didn't have pronunciations. Sometimes you could find opposing fans, right? And they got the wrong pronunciation of their own team. And here was the thing. I've talked about this a time or two before. When you mispronounce high school, you have insulted their family. You have insulted generations of their heritage. They take it so personal and it escalates so quickly. I kind of don't care. That's not the intent. I've tried everything I can. People would walk into the press box, not understanding the boundaries, trying to assist me. They'd walk up to the window. If you've hung out on the Louie Bellina show, you probably could pick up, I can have an attitude about things. I did there too. And, the customer isn't always right kind of thing. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work. So I quit doing everything high school. I was like, I don't get paid enough for this. This isn't worth it. No one ever rarely politely said, "Hey, I can be of assistance here." Oh no. They came up frothing at the mouth. And on the Louie Bellina show, you're listening now, presented by CC Electric. The Louie Bellina show inside the Charles Schwab studio. You notice we don't do high school. Matter of fact, we have the high school football update. That'll be every Friday once the season kicks off. Thanks to Kelly Dozer. That's incorrect. We have the high school football preview every Friday. The high school football season ahead, the high school football weekend ahead. And then Mondays we'll have the high school football update, all the results. It's all thanks to Kelly Dozer. That's it. When I first started the Louie Bellina show, I was like, we should do some high school. Bryan College Station, Brazos Valley, same thing. You're not covering my team. You like other teams better. And I had people doing the updates and are y'all idiots? Was the response we got. I'm like, nope, okay. Same thing as the PA days. So not worth it. Does that answer your question, Dale and Tabor? Everyone takes it like when there's a mistake that you insulted, again, them, their family, their ancestors, their generations. They go, TNT Dynamite, race car in red with no conversation. And I just don't want to deal with it. More text messages. Skip and Brian is listening on 1150 a.m. Really ready for football season. Skip. So say us all. So say us all. Alfonso Menchaca listening on the app while driving an 18-wheeler in Bryan. Thank you for listening. Be safe. Oh, Ernesto in Louisiana got back to me. Started texting in Louisiana when I was working a disaster relief for hurricane there. I'm a proud Aggie living in College Station since graduation, now retired. Dude. So you've been listening to the Zone all throughout your journey. That's pretty epic. By the way, the ticket booth is open about another 10 minutes. You can win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue. Text 979-693-1150. All Zone Bryan Broadcasting prize eligibility rules apply. Text me your name. Where are you listening? How are you listening to be eligible? Fred is in College Station, RadioAggieland.com, RadioAggieland.com. Todd said he's listening on 1150, but Todd didn't say where he's listening. Todd. Tony. Poor man trying to meet it in a rich man's world. Listening on Zone app, hustling around College Station, making that money. Ooh. And to answer your question, Wednesday. Tony sends something. Don't have to read it for everyone. Wednesday, Tony, Wednesday. That's epic. Matt in College Station. Louie. North Texas goes from almost making the CFP to 112 the next season. Lost your coach and team to the portal. Love college football. That's modern reality, Matt. That is stone cold the modern reality. Addison, Martin, Rudy's, 290 in Houston, the Zone app. Be safe. Peruna in College Station, Louie. Good night, Gracie. Nice to hear that you have a full dose of culture. He's listening on 1150 AM in Navasota. Chuck from Corpus Christi, heading to the beach, listening on the Zone app. Corpus. A lot of good beach. A lot of living life right. Vinny in LaGrange says, Vinny, listening online. We're online. Vinny, come on now. Zone1150.com, RadioAggieland.com. And it's funny, he goes, and of course, LaGrange, but we're online. Help me here. Jimmy Robinson, the Zone app, 1150. He's driving back from Houston. Logan. Wait, Wolverine? The Zone 1150 AM in the work truck, currently down in Bernardo, fixing to jump out and work a little. Okay, I've shared this. I've always been honest about this, right? I'm geographically impaired, but where's Bernardo? And if I should know where it is, I apologize, but where's Bernardo? We've got Marshall, class of 92, Zone app, listening in North Louisiana. Wait, is Louisiana big enough to have a north and south? I mean, anything due to maps can be north or south, but I think you have to have a certain size before we can do north, south, east, west. I mean, hey, states are free to do whatever they want. Nick, class of 23. I tuned in via the Zone app. I'm currently in San Antonio picking up an order for a customer. Zone app rules. Not going to lie. Our app is awesome and it's free. And with it, you could take the Louie Bellina Show, Texags Live, Chip Howard Sports Talk, Aggie football, Aggie basketball, and A&M baseball on your phone everywhere, not just state of Texas. So I love the Zone app. Jerry, the Zone app, Dripping Springs, Texas. Cuervo Ag, listening from Jolotes, Texas, which is northwest. See, he knows I'm geographically impaired. Cuervo Ag made sure to throw in a little geographical correction. Direction. Listening from Jolotes, Texas, northwest of San Antonio. He's listening online with the Zone. Class of 90. John on campus. He's walking across campus. No entry. He just wanted to share. Roll call. God bless. God bless you, brother. Jared in College Station, listening on 93.7 FM. Gig 'em. Molly texted, listening on the Zone app. College Station. Ross in Madisonville is in Tomball. I love that stuff. I do. He's Ross in Madisonville, who's currently in Tomball, and he's listening on the Zone app. Outstanding. RJ texted, I'm listening to Zone 1150 on the radio in my car. Nice. Couple more for you. Again, this is roll call. You got 5 minutes left. If you want to win a $50 gift card to Rudy's Barbecue, all Zone Brian Broadcasting prize eligibility rules apply. You text, you're registered, I'll blind draw 2 to 4 this afternoon, just sometime when I get off the air. I do this 3 times a year, maybe 4. I like knowing how you participate. Where are you? Just the sharing is caring thing. Logan and Burton. Oh, southeast of Brenham. Okay. Southeast of Brenham. I guess this is where Bernardo is. Okay, it's between Cat Spring and Columbus, southeast of Brenham. Now, I don't know where Cat Spring is, but I know where southeast of Brenham is. Price Jones. Anderson, Texas. Bryce, what are you doing in Anderson? I mean, that's your business, and he's listening on 1150 AM. Vinny got back to me. He's listening online at zone1150.com. Josh and Brian. This is a tough one for me to believe, but Josh, I'll go with it. I mean, he's listening from Mars via satellite. Josh. Listening from Mars, huh? Texarkana. That's his listing on our inbox, but Kay Gibson, class of 93, driving through Minden, Louisiana? Huh? As we listen to the Zone app. Man, it has been too long since I've been to Louisiana. I used to go to Louisiana once a year minimum. And you're like, why? The food, the women, the gambling. That's all you need to know. When we come back, 5 things you need to know. This is the Louie Bellina Show. It is Wednesday. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric on the Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. Don't ask unless you want the truth, because
you can't handle the truth.
Weekdays, 11 to 2 on the Zone.
You know what I always loved about AC/DC? It gave me hope that I could be the lead singer of a rock and roll band someday. Because I'd hear AC/DC and go, if that works, I can be the lead singer of a rock band someday. If that does it. So that's one of the many things about, and guitar, but that's one of the things always about AC/DC. I'm like, I can do that. Yeah, I kept that dream alive till, I think I was 15, but yeah, and it never panned out. And that's okay. I'm happy doing this. But yeah, that was one of the strengths of AC/DC for me. I could do that. Yeah. But no, it never worked out. There's more text messages rolling in here on the Louie Bellina Show on a Wednesday from inside the Charles Schwab studio. And someone, great text message, but you didn't put your name. AM 1150. What is Onaville, Texas? Oenaville? Just east of Temple? And they're in their combine harvesting corn. I mean, great text message, no name. Huh? Lucas, listening from Caldwell, Texas on 1150 AM. Again, people are texting. Good stuff. We had a text message say, looking forward to the upcoming Aggie football pregame and postgame shows. And haven't talked about it yet because we're trying to finalize details. But yes. The Zone Game Day show is coming back. And I don't know. Look, it's either going to be 3 hours before kickoff or maybe, and we've never done this before, 4 hours before kickoff. There's some details still looking to be ironed out. I know Olin's coming back. Cease has no idea because I haven't emailed him yet because I'm still waiting for the final details for Cease. Dusty is back. I'm back. And yes, the Zone call-in show will be coming back after each and every A&M home game too. So if you're new to town, which I always say hi, hello, and welcome, you don't know, I could say the usual, but that means nothing. But on Aggie football game days, the Zone. We have the Zone Game Day show, which will be me, Olin, and hopefully Cease, and me and Dusty, and a guest to be named later, just me and Dusty. And then you have the official A&M pregame show, because we're your home for Aggie football. And then, so after 3 to 4 hours, then you have the A&M game. And then after every A&M home game, 2 hours, we take your phone calls, Dusty and I. So we're ready. It's all coming back. And man, it's so much fun. According to Sean, it's Monaville. Maybe just one letter typed wrong. Okay. Thank you. Geography. Come on now. So Jerry Lancaster, Monaville, Texas, not Awona. Isn't that new movie with the rock and the land and the water spirits and everything? I don't know. 5 things that you need to know. 5 things you need to know, world of sports. The first one, holy Snikes kind of you need to know. What am I talking about? The Lakers were sold. And the Lakers were sold a year ago, almost less than a year ago, if you did not know. Mark Walter bought a controlling interest in the team from the Bussy family and Buss family. Tons of different conditions on the deal where they actually got to still run it day to day and everything. Well, there's a reason why it's being sold so quickly. Walter, he built his financial empire in the insurance company, is currently under federal investigation for alleged tax fraud by other companies tied to the billionaire. He kind of has to sell, but he's not going to take a bath in this story. He's the CEO and chairman of a diversified holding company called TWG Global. He is selling the Lakers for a record-breaking price, $12 billion. Who's buying them? Josh Kushner, head of one of those private equities, and guess who else? Bob Iger. That name could be familiar. He was the CEO of Disney twice. He's got bucks. He currently runs the Angel City FC of the NWSL. So the Lakers changing hands, majority controlling interest. Again, $12 billion. 5 things you need to know. Number 2. Yesterday, it's maybe not a shock who, but it happened so quick because this was supposed to be a whole fall camp competition. But the Minnesota Vikings named Aggie football legend Kyler Murray as their new, he's QB1. Murray, J.J. McCarthy were supposed to battle it out. I don't know if it's about all camp long, but that was supposed to be the battle. Kyler Murray is the new Vikings head coach. It's a brutal win because the Vikings have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL this season. Did Kyler start studying film? Is he ready for this? I don't have the answers, but again, is it shocking he won? It's shocking that the battle was over so quickly. 5 things you need to know. Number 3. Last night in Chicago, the White Sox had, one of the more unique and some would say successful promotions at the park ever. Pope Hat Night. You heard correctly. The Pope. Pope Hat Night. The current sitting Pope, Pope Leo, and after that, all the Roman numerals, I got lost. But Pope Leo, Chicago guy, White Sox fan. Nobody's perfect. What do you want to say? And the White Sox were going to do this promotion a long time ago. And originally it was going to be like the first 500, 1,000. So eventually they'd do everyone in the park. It was a sellout, $38K. And the hats during the game are already popping up on eBay for $70 a Pope hat. I'm not making it up. The tickets were cheaper than the Pope hats on eBay. Not a joke. I've seen the photos of the Pope hat. It's brilliant. It is awesome. So last night, the long-awaited, I love that quote, long-awaited Pope hat promotion took place at the Chicago White Sox, and it was simply brilliant. If you got time today, and come on, man, how many times can you check your email? We all have time today. Google, look on your phone, your work computer, unless your boss is looking. Pope Hat Night Chicago. I want one. It's brilliant. 5 things you need to know. And you notice on the Louie Bellina show, the word need is relative, right? Should know, could know, why not know, but need to know. Number 4, I think it's been a long time since any of us have played Madden football. I don't know if your gaming days are still in their prime. I used to play the EA college football. That was one of those where you wouldn't sleep the night before. It was like Christmas come early, right? Madden football was never the thing for me. I know there's Madden junkies out there. I remember one time I was watching ESPN, and they're showing the Madden tournament, and I went, whoa, Madden tournaments? Really? Yes, really. Anyway, Madden EA Sports has introduced the tush push. If you want to use the tush push, it is, if it's in the game, it's in the game. They put that play, which has been a nightmare, a horror, in the game. And for NFL fans, the tush push, The NFL wants to legislate it out. Not enough teams will jump on board. Officials butcher the officiating of it. That's probably the number one problem with it. They let the offense use illegal alignments. They let O-linemen jump. I mean, I don't know if the tush push is the problem. It's the way it's officiated. I think that's why it's so hated. So if you're still playing Madden, which where do you get the time for that? But Madden NFL 27, which comes out Thursday, I hope you pre-ordered your copy. The tush push will be in the game. 5 things you need to know. Number 5. Okay, college basketball fans, you're probably going to have to be a hardcore, but who remembers the Field of 68? Who remembers the Field of 68? I think the last one was 2016. Man, that'd be a decade, wouldn't it? I hope so. I'm not good with math skills, but I pretend. Someone will say, hey, Lou, what's 1 + 1? And I'll go, wouldn't you like to know? Anyway, the Field of 68 used to be, it was a spinoff, and basically it was 24 hours of college basketball that started at midnight. Very unique, very awesome. I think ESPN did it for a while. Well, ESPN didn't want to try and put on midnight 2:30 a.m. games and stuff. So last one I think was 2016. It's back. It is back. The Field of 68 Media Network is going to, and it starts this year, by the way. They're going to have 8 games and starts at midnight, I think 11 o'clock our time, because, of course, it's midnight Eastern. And it's going to cover basically the whole day. Starts November 2nd. Now, probably not enough money offered, let's be clear, because anybody would play at 2 a.m. for the right price. 11 of the 16 teams were in the NCAA tournament last year. No, that's incorrect. 11 of the 16 teams are 20-win teams from a year ago. 5 of the 16 teams were in the NCAA tournament. So, but if you're the common average, and I don't mean that as an insult, basketball fan, you're not exactly off the tip of the tongue. It'll all start at 11:01 our time, High Point at Liberty. And High Point is one of the High Point teams. They upset Wisconsin in the NCAA tournament. Grambling, Northern Illinois at 2 o'clock our time. Appalachian State and Merrimack at 5 our time. Winthrop versus Queens at 8 a.m. Murray State, Tennessee State, 10:30 our time. UTEP, Northern Kentucky, 1 o'clock. UAB, McNeese State at 4:30. And then the final game of the 24-hour Field of 68, Furman versus Bethune-Cookman. Yeah. Not a P4 in there. So I love the idea. I guess if you're like John Rothstein, you're a hardcore. If you want to watch these games, there'll be a YouTube channel that you can watch them all on. The Field of 68 YouTube channel and X account will broadcast every one of the games from the site. There you go. When we come back, Bubba Bush, good friend of mine, good friend of yours, will join me on the D4 Land Services Hotline. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Wednesday on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
All right, listen up, class.
The money machine is open now.
No.
Make sure to enter each week
Everyone comes out a winner.
at Zone1150.com or through the Zone newsletter to win $5,000.
The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, community. They do residential, commercial, industrial services. They're CC Electric. We're joined now. I check in a couple of times a month. Good friend of mine, good friend of our community. Talking about Bubba Bush. He is with BVMMA and Fitness. Bubba joins us on the D4 Land Services Hotline. Bubba, how are you doing, brother?
Doing really well. Like I said, I hadn't slowed down. Talked a little bit before we got on. Summer has been busy and packed, and I think I'm looking forward to December already for the slow time. I'd be better at slowing down then. But, man, we're also ready for everybody to come back, just like you.
If you're looking forward to December already, man, catch a nap because it's about to be green light go. I love this stuff. Just driving around town, just trying to get through an intersection right now. I'm already starting to feel it a little bit.
No, I have not felt the traffic, but I've been through Walmart twice in the last week, and it was, saw parents, saw the whole stands of back-to-school supplies, all the Aggie gear. It is exciting.
That it is outstanding. Hey, I noticed you have a couple of things coming up at BVMMA Fitness. Do you have an open mat soon, among other things?
So we have open mats every week. Every Saturday we have open mats, and then actually after class on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 7:30 p.m., where we exchange knowledge and work around. The big thing that we have come up is 101. So every year when people come back to school, people get their kids back in school, everybody gets back in the rhythm and the routine. We try new things. We have a 101 class themed after college, very beginning, very intro. So August 24th should be the week after everybody settles in. And we have a 101 class starting then. So you can come in, ask every manner of question, get a little private lesson with the people who are also starting for the very first time. And then just find it's a way to, get people less self-conscious about being the new person. Normal weeks, we do intro classes on Tuesday and Wednesday. We do intro private, and we introduce you to the fundamental class, to the beginner class, and get you in there. But people still go, I don't want to ask this question, that question. Some people seem like they know what's going on. And it's like everyone else there's only been there 2 weeks, but if you're there the first day, sometimes it feels that way. So we have a 101 class where everyone in there is brand spanking new, and there's no questions that you should feel aren't appropriate. Ask anything and get everything one-on-one or similarly answered.
Man, I find myself confused. I could swear I saw a graphic promoting like open mat with a date on it. Man, and I love my graphics.
The in-house tournament.
Oh, see, this is why I check in with Bubba. He's got the deets. It is the nomenclature. Yeah, it is the in-house tournament.
Open house tournaments we do about once a semester. Next one we're going to have on October 10th now, and that is a good goal. So we love training goals, right? It really hones everything into focus. And I tell you, when I fought, right, your whole life hones in around this one date. That is happening that day, which means the day before that I have to weigh this amount, which means the weeks before that I have to eat this, drink this, train this amount. Everything hones, and everything else in your life gets better because of it. Because you're disciplined in one thing, everything else in your life gets more disciplined. So I loved that about fighting. It's probably my favorite thing. I didn't love, all the intense training, all the late nights, and all the things. But I loved that it focused my whole life, and everything in my life got easier to stay disciplined on because I was disciplined on the one big thing. And so we do the same thing with our training. So in jiu-jitsu, a lot of people are just training casually, trying to lose weight, have fun. A lot of people are training for self-defense, but it doesn't matter what you're doing. You want to be consistent at it. You want to be disciplined at it. You want to get better at it. And so it's like, I'm trying to do this for self-defense. Well, great. The better you are at competing, right, at fighting, the more safe you are when that situation pops up. So we want to be focused. What are the holes in my game? How do I know if I'm better at self-defense? Well, when you go to the tournament and you find that, okay, I didn't get taken down, but once I took them down, I got rolled over a lot. You say, okay, that's a fundamental flaw in my plan for self-defense. It shows it to you, and then the training the next month is different because everything you're doing, you're saying, hey, I want to put this in the context where I know I have this gap in my game. So love competition for that. It shows us who we are, where we are, what our gaps are. It really helps us to train and to stay focused throughout the semester. So everybody's focused on October 10th for that, and then we have a tournament, like a competition tournament, people who do want to go compete on November 14th. Both of those goals are, 2 months away. Give us a way to focus our whole semester.
But you said something that was key in there that I hope everybody heard. You mentioned the many different reasons why people come to BVMMA and fitness. And it's not all to compete. It's not all to fight. It's to lose weight. It is to learn discipline. It is to learn a skill. And at some point, if they want the challenge, if they want to go test what they've learned, you have that in-house. You have it out-of-house. You have all the different ways people can find out what they know.
Yep. Believe it or not, I'm not a pusher. I don't push everyone into competition. I do believe in it. I do think it's valuable, and mainly because it's hard. We're all living in our comfort zone. It's hard enough to get outside and do martial arts. But once you do, you settle into a community. You settle into, this is my relief, my respite. This is where I go to burn off energy, to leave my stress. All your friends are there, and it becomes a comfortable place. And then, okay, now how do I challenge myself? How do I put myself out of that comfort zone? And competition is usually that. So I have pushed one or two dads and start competing after just their kids are, and lead by example, and get in there and just be where you're not comfortable. Figure out what you're made of even more than you already know. It's been a really good thing. So, but most people, man, when you come in, it's train. You've got plenty to do in class. You got the 101 class starting. Like, you're not thinking about competition. You're thinking about learning the grammar, starting at the basics. What is a base? What is a good form? What is a good stance to get into? How am I going to apply pressure? How am I going to resist that same pressure? Like, these are the very basic things we're learning in 101. So, but down the road, always a good decision.
Yeah, it's good to find out. It's good to see what you need to work on. What's next for you? Kind of. That's really what it is in the end, isn't it? Take all the data and find out what's next.
Yeah, I mean, I like to work backwards from the goal. That's reverse engineering has always been super beneficial. So where do I want to be? And you've heard this in the form of a 5-year plan with a lot of people graduating college. I know it applies throughout all of our life, but where do I want to be? Whether that's your house, your spiritual life, your fight, what do I want to be doing in X amount of time? And then making smart goals that work back. So for engineer, get it done.
Bubba, I was in school for 7 years. I was 87 to 94.
You and my
so
dad.
When people say 5 years, I'm like, that you're speaking a foreign language to me. I can't relate to a 5-year plan.
Oh, once you graduate, maybe 5-year plan.
Yeah, I still don't know what you're saying.
Your 5-year plan is pretty much to be where you are now, right?
Yeah, you know what? My
It's just
5-year
better.
plan took about 28 years. But yeah, I think I get the concept. I just don't understand the plan. That's that's why people can go to you. You can help them get there.
That's right. For you, have a 5-month plan, okay? Start now, train, still be doing it.
If I would have found you, Bubba, I maybe could have figured it out in 6 years instead of 7. That's the way I look at this storyline. I could have. What else you have going on at BVMMA and Fitness? Again, I know, you've got the open mats, you've got, the upcoming competitions, but what's the schedule like? And I said it, look, there's so many people coming into town. I know you and I have talked about it. Never assume people know everything we know.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, got to say it again, right? But the schedule is on BVMMA.com. We have over 60 classes a week. We're here at 6 a.m. doing kickboxing, cardio kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We've got wrestling classes. We've got kids classes, kids kickboxing, kids MMA, kids Jiu-Jitsu. We've got noon classes every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Like I said, open mats on Saturday, classes on Saturday, competition class on Saturday, private lessons 7 days a week. In the evening, we've got kickboxing where the parents or students can go kickbox while kids are doing class. You can drop your kids off. You can lift weights in the weight center. We've got basically a do-it-yourself CrossFit gym. Anything you'd find at a CrossFit gym, we have it all. We've got power racks. We've got treadmills, rowing machines, assault bikes, like everything you could want. You can go work out while your kid gets the training, gets the self-defense training, gets those focus, gets those skills. So after that, you can get those skills. So we have 5:30 classes. We have 6:30 classes. We have 7:30 classes. Every day of the week, all day, there are classes scheduled at BVMMA.com. One other thing to share with you that I would like to shout out. One of our head coaches, a main coach, is going to be working with a lot, actually, the 101 guys. He just won the adult advanced masters division at ADCC. So this is a big no-gi grappling tournament in the world. ADCC is the biggest no-gi grappling organization in the world to the open and took first place in that. So very proud of him. JT Hamilton, he's been doing some work around town, trying to get these flock cameras down as well. Also proud of that. You look that up, but we don't have to get into the whole political scene right now. But he did win, and so you're getting coached from people who are out there doing it and doing it well.
Well, you've always believed in the continuing education, and it's not just your coaches, it's you. I mean, it's everyone there at BVMMA Fitness. I mean, you have to do it yourself if you're going to teach it.
I went to too many self-defense seminars when I was younger, I guess. I hate seeing self-defense taught by people who haven't at least fought or done, sparred, been in that world. Like, if you've never been punched in the mouth and you've got a whole plan that you're going to teach my daughter, I just don't love it.
You're not a believer.
I've shared with you before, I had some friends in high school that went to a 1-hour self-defense seminar, and were like, they were 16-year-old girls, and I can go downtown Washington, D.C. at night because I had this self-defense seminar. It's like, no. You did this one throw in this one class. So I love when I get to take actual fighters, people compete in jiu-jitsu tournaments, and have them as coaches and say, look, I did this. I did it last week. I've seen me do it. Here, I can help you learn it too. So
Real
proof's
world.
in the pudding.
Real world.
Real world application. you know it works. You're not just listening to a story.
In theory, katas, forms. No, real world. BVMMA.com. BVMMA.com. Check out the schedule. Go get a phone number, find your email address, set up an appointment. Stop by. Where? BVMMA.com. You can get the address. Check out everything at BVMMA.com. Bubba, go be awesome. Thank you always. Brings a smile when I hear the plans, man. I'll always love the vision. I'm always all in with it.
Appreciate you, Louie. Look forward to the semester.
Amen to that one. Go be awesome. Thank you, brother. Later.
Bye-bye.
Bubba Bush of BVMMA and Fitness joins us on the D4 Land Services hotline. And maybe it's time to get your land cleared. You need help with the excavation. You just want to fix it up. D4landservices.com. Forestry mulching, pond construction, a custom metal building from the ground up. D4landservices.com. When we return, when we come back, done. We got to say bye-bye. It's the Louie Bellina Show on the Zone. 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Spend your summer with the Zone.
Crank it up a notch.
This is great.
Where Yankee sports is a way of life.